China, but they still
We have
operated.
Narayanji. He's from Hong Kong, so I think
Nananji. So
we'll
I'm
get
gonna
it.
let you guys take it. Well, I'll
Okay.
stay up a
All right.
little longer, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
hand off.
All right.
So let's
Narayanmoorthy
talk about this.
Namaste. How are
So,
you doing?
Namaste.
greetings, all of you from Hong Kong.
Namaskar.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Hong Kong. You're lucky.
About to discuss Hong Kong. That was next on the list, and you're in Hong Kong then.
that's right. Basically, I think we are in an
Mike,
advantageous.
can you up the mic? We can't hear you properly, sir. Mike.
Okay, okay. Let me try and do the best I can.
Okay.
Okay, um, we are in an advantageous position now because the last few days there have been no new cases which have got reported, and also Hong Kong is being very conscious,
Hmm.
and because about 17 years ago we had gone through this SARS epidemic, and so that is been weighing very heavily on everybody. So lots of precautions and cautionary procedures which are uh, rather new to people uh, all over the world is par for the course in Hong Kong, because even during a non-epidemic situation, you will find it very common for people to be wearing masks and moving around, especially someone who's got influenza. So partially to insulate themselves from their vulnerability, or out of concern that they should not pass it on to other people. So this has been uh, very much ingrained in the social fabric of Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong reacted pretty quickly. It closed the schools very early. Long About a few months ago, it had the bureaucracy working from home, and all the cinema halls were all shut down. Um, Today, the situation is is such that all the modes of transportation is functioning. All the four modes of transportation functioning. The bureaucracy possibly will resume work from next week onwards. Uh, so basically, the precautionary procedures are very much ingrained into the social fabric of Hong Kong. So
Yes.
that has been a
Yeah. Mr. Narayanmoorthy, were you able to do all this with no government intervention?
um, I should tend to agree with you, because the government, it is, see, only when the citizens, they take it upon themselves,
Hmm.
they hold themselves accountable for
Right.
their own personal health, and of the health of the family.
Hmm.
Like they say, charity begins at home.
Right.
So you have to begin being yourself safe, and you must keep your family safe. Okay, so everything the government cannot control.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Right. But it was really the government and the people working together to accomplish this goal. Would that be
Yeah,
correct?
I would like to add one more thing.
Hmm.
You see, there have been many nations which have imposed the statutory quarantine, right? But when Hong Kong also implemented that the arrivals, they were told to undergo self quarantine, right? And they were all given a kind of a band, electronic band, and that would indicate to the authorities if the person is moving away from his location.
Hmm.
So there would be a cautionary phone call to that person,
Hmm.
you know, such like.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, see, where I see it in the United States, a lot of the states here want to do an experiment to see what works and doesn't work. And I said, you don't need to do an experiment. You can look at the world. Now, and see how they're doing. Now, here's the problem.
Exactly.
Here's the
Exactly.
problem. The real problem of people here in the United States. We don't believe there's a world outside of the states. Okay, I'm serious. I'm
That
dead
is true.
serious. I am not kidding, because when I said that, it's almost
So
like,
true.
you mean there are other countries out there that actually
I
have
know.
Oh, I
you
get
know,
the yeah, but look how
it-
small
it's-
they are compared to us. And I go, but they're more
they're not
dense.
collectively.
No,
they're
no,
not.
collect.
Okay, I mean the thing is, but the real problem we have here is that, yeah, that's problem number one. Ankit shows the problem. Okay, that's problem number one. There we go.
That's it.
Okay, Ankit.
Thank you, Ankit.
Okay, Ankit, you can train Americans to do this if you show that up there. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we understand that.
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's problem number one. That's our leader. Okay, then problem number two is many people in the States, not all of them, but many people, we do not recognize the rest of the world even exists. So we want to do an experiment here to see what works between our states competing. Now, wait a minute. Why would you want to do that when the data is out there internationally to see what works and doesn't work? But we don't believe there's anything outside of the United States. And I can tell you, there's a lot of people here that the county I live in, I live in, I think it's called Lee County. Okay, and I say, well, where are you from? Well, I moved here far, far away. Where's that? Harnett County. It's like right next door. I mean, their idea of moving big time is to go from one county to the next. Okay, so if I talk to them about India, I might as well be talking about Pluto. Have you seen Pluto lately? No, I didn't even know Pluto exists. Well, there's this country called India. Really? Are there anybody live there? The Ankit lives there. You know, I mean, it's a lot like, oh, and where I live also, we had our first Indian restaurant move in. Seriously, first one ever. They've never had one here. You know, all of a sudden, bang, here's an Indian restaurant. I go, wow, what's this? It's called curry. Do you guys have fried curry, fried chicken with your curry? You know, I mean, it's just the culture here is absolutely amazing. That
It's basically it's the fact that America is so inward looking is also borne out by the fact that the percentage of Americans holding a passport.
Right.
So in India, everybody is aspirational.
Oh, you guys have
Everybody
passports?
wants
American dreams.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Well,
You saying?
I said
Well,
American.
Pardon?
well, it's more of an American nightmare when they arrive, because they don't know what they're getting into.
American
until
dream, America dream, maybe for people who are they are. So you won't believe. I mean, Nick, a lot of doctors come on our show, and they check about the US in the morning. That what's going on in US. They don't check about India. Can you believe it?
Right. Yeah. It's what's going on in the U.S. Who cares? Who cares about the rest of the world? Well, I mean, you know, the success of Hong Kong we're pointing out on IBM TV because we
But I
believe
would,
the rest of the world
I would
needs to
like,
know about that. Yes, Ankit, go on.
I would like Narayanmoorthy ji to introduce himself because he didn't, and we would like to know more about it. I just have one line that people in Hong Kong knows Narayanmoorthy. So I am talking about 7 million of them, and he speaks a lot of
Is
language.
basically
He's a social ambassador in Hong Kong. Rest, I think Moorthy ji will elaborate.
no. Ankit is very generous and kind with his words.
He's great. He has 1.3
Yeah,
he has 1.3 billion Facebook followers.
Yes, that's true. That's
True.
true.
Right.
Now, and also he's a genius in the digital marketing field.
Mhm.
So that is what really matters today.
That's true. Good point.
When Ankit was talking about me being in Hong Kong and me being reasonably well known, the partial truth of the fact is that I am reasonably well known amongst the Indians in Hong Kong.
Right.
I'm not well known across the communities.
Right.
Obviously, I'm not a public person in that sense of the word. I
Right.
came to Hong Kong close to 25 years ago, and it's been an excellent journey because when I came that time, India and information technology were absolutely synonymous.
Mhm.
So all I had to do was to sit in front of a prospective customer,
Yeah.
a multinational company, and say that I'm from India, and that's it. and they would want to leverage me for mitigating their information technology
Sure.
solutions.
Right.
So riding on that crest, and also my own drive to succeed, the journey was very, very interesting, and I could make rapid progress in the business in Hong Kong.
Right.
Current So that was like, I'm close to 60 years old now.
Hmm.
Okay, and I have kind of rolled back my level of business involvement.
Hmm.
The other part of the business I do, so
Right.
one part of the business I currently do is in the recruitment side. I help corporates get quality quality staff and job seekers to get a quality job. So that
Hmm.
is one part of the business I do. The other part of the business I do is I run events. So I would engage a large auditorium and
Wow.
engage a very good musician, international grade musician from India, and have the concert and sell tickets and gain sponsorship. And that's the second part of the business. And for both these businesses, what is absolutely required is my interaction with the community.
Hmm.
So the same set of people who are possibly the buyers of ticket for my concerts are possibly job seekers, or the sponsors of my program are possibly the employers who will be. So it kind of synergistic. So it makes my life a lot more easy.
Hmm. Yeah, and you know a lot of people in your community. It's interesting you say that. Have you ever heard of a guy called Shadow Khan, an actor in India? I have to ask a question.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
now,
yes,
okay,
yes.
Ankit, later on today, we're going to have one of the Hollywood producers, Wesley Elder, on. Okay,
Yeah.
his hit movie is running on Amazon after it ran on Netflix. It's called The Matchbreaker. It's a great movie about how these people hire somebody to break up
Yeah.
a match. Now, he's a Hollywood producer, and we're going to ask him that question because here's the funny thing about Shadow Khan. And I looked him up when Ankit told me about him. He's almost a billionaire. If he's not, he's a billionaire basically. He's very well known in India. Everybody knows who he is because every time I ask everybody in the United States, no one knows who he is. I'm willing to bet, and I'm not a betting man, that this next Hollywood producer, and this will be the third in a row, if I ask, "Have you heard of Shadow Khan?" They'll go, they won't know him. It's just weird. He has no presence here in the United States. It's amazing. And I saw some of his work. He's really good, but it just hasn't gone past the borders and come into the US. So it's very interesting to see that. And like Hong Kong, which is being very successful in terms of controlling the coronavirus, gets no press in the United States. In other words, other than you talking about it and me seeing it on IBM TV, and Rakesh comes in from Hong Kong and talks about it, when you go on the regular press here in the U.S., we get nothing from Hong Kong. In other words, what they're doing in coronavirus. So, and we've learned to do this, but I've learned to do this when Ankit puts the dollar bill up there because we got trained to do that a long time ago.
I'm holding the phone with my one hand, so I can't do namaste.
Okay, namaste. Right. Yes. Right. Yes. Right. So Vishal has joined
I mean,
us.
Nick, we have to ask Narayanji that he is a good singer and he manages the music band as well. And he's not talking about that aspect of the life. Basically, he's very much into music. So Narayanji, I mean, our viewers would like to know.
Very,
And
very,
we have,
very,
and
very
also we have
interestingly.
Vishal Kothari with us, and he's a musician and a singer from
Yeah.
Bombay.
Oh
Vishal,
yeah. Well, actually, when you say musician and singer,
Hi everyone. Yeah.
okay, we're doing a special every Sunday with Alexander May from South Africa. Okay, now this is another country that the United States doesn't recognize, basically, as a country. But I looked up South Africa. They have 57 million people there. It's as big as Great Britain. We get a lot of feed from what goes on in the United Kingdom, in other words, Great Britain, all the time. I'm the prince. Here's what we get from South Africa. Okay, so I had to look her up, and the thing is, Alexander May is very well known, and Ankit, she had quite a few other people there that are just really well known singers on her show, Alexander May's Musical Cafe. I'd like to get more of those people on because they don't get any love or exposure here in the United States. In other words, you got some great people worldwide that just don't get exposure. And I'll give you another thing that just happened here, so you guys will know about. So we're convening a task force to work at the coronavirus of all the brilliant minds in the world. Guess where all the brilliant minds in the world come from? The United States of America. They don't recognize there's other good scientists outside the United States. I am serious. I'm going like, wait a minute, there's good scientists around the world. And I know that from playing international chess. The top chess player in the world is actually from Norway. One of the other top players is from India, Vishwanath. All the chess players know that. But if you come here, everything is like, oh, we're going to get the top people in the world. They're all from the United States. There's nothing outside the United States. It's just the nature of the beast here. So,
There is the fact that top 10 IT companies, all Indians are running those companies.
yeah, right, exactly. That's just the way it is. In other words, here we're very what they would call egocentric. That nothing happens outside the borders of the U.S. And so it's good to see you guys on IBM TV because now we can introduce Hong Kong. Hong Kong is not.
So we have two Hong Kong people right now. Rakesh is from Hong Kong, and
Yeah, Rakesh is giving me the update on Hong Kong. I would have no clue because if you watch the media here, I am telling you, you can go all day and they won't even talk about what's going on in Hong Kong. It's like nothing. So unless it's the media shut out because that's way overseas. We're not interested in what happens overseas. And we've had people here actually say, some very brilliant Americans going, well, we need to do a test on what works in coronavirus, and so we'll get the states doing tests and compare the states against each other. Like, what about the rest of the world? Oh, the rest of the world? What world? No, it's outside the borders of the U.S. There's other people there, dude. But anyway.
Vishal from Bollywood, and he knows Shah Rukh Khan. So I think Vishal will take the. So Vishal.
Vishal knows Shah Rukh Khan. Vishal, you know Shah Rukh Khan?
Of course, I belong from the city of Mumbai.
Oh, so in Mumbai, right?
So of course, I live here.
Close by. Okay, we're going to have some Hollywood producers.
We are very close by.
Okay.
We stay very close by.
Okay,
so I'm the closest of all of you from.
Good. We're having our third Hollywood producer on today. We had Robert Krantz, who runs right now a show. He's got a 2-year contract with Netflix. His show is Faith, Hope, and Love. You can watch it on Netflix. It's a great show. He might even be on today, but he was on a couple weeks ago. And we asked him, "Have you ever heard of Shah Rukh Khan?" Nope. Okay. And then we had Henning Morales. Henning Morales is a Hollywood producer. Has been in there for years. We asked him, "You ever hear of Shah Rukh Khan?" Nope. Okay, now we're having our third Hollywood producer on at 1:00 today, our time, which is about a little over 2 hours from now. His name's Wesley Elder. Okay, he runs a show on Amazon Prime called The Matchbreaker. Okay, I'm going to ask him the question: have you ever heard of Shah Rukh Khan? Shah Rukh Khan gets no love in the United States. In other words, and I watched, the guy's really famous. I did my research on him. Without researching him, they don't know who he is here, And here you have one of the best actors in the world who has no love in the United States. And probably what I told Ankit, we need to get him on IBM TV and introduce him to the Americas because we don't even know who he is, I think that would be great, So, Vishal, what city are you? Are you in Mumbai right now?
Yeah, I am in Mumbai right now. Hope you guys can listen to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Hope the audio is good, loud and clear.
Yeah,
of course, I'm in Mumbai.
Yeah.
I'm from Mumbai. I'm born and brought up in Mumbai.
Okay. So what do you do?
I am a singer by profession, and first of all, I'm a very good friend with Ankit, and thank you so much, Ankit, for getting me here with all of you guys. And this is the situation we all are in today, facing a very you can say a very dangerous situation for all of us, and it is very good to connect with all of you guys and spending some good time talking to you guys. And I'm a singer, so I will more prefer, and I think so music is something that it heals you. So now in this lockdown situation, I'm giving more time to music, and then I'm sure you guys, I'll sing a song for all of you, and I'm sure you're going to love the song, and you're going to little bit of the stress situation we are in right now, and this song will definitely calm you guys down.
Oh, really? Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So you want me to start with any song?
Yeah, we're gonna give you more of the stage in just a minute.
Okay, super. Cool. Am I audible, Ankit?
Audible.
Okay, just a second. I hope Rakesh ji and Narayan ji, you know this song, and it's a wonderful song, one of my favorite songs, composed by A.R. Rahman sir. अर्ज़ियाँ सारी चेहरे पे लिख के लाया हूँ, तुमसे क्या मांगू, तुम खुद ही समझ लो। या मौला या मौला 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 मेरे मौला 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 मेरे मौला 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 दरारे दरारे हैं